Welcome everybody back to Nine's Corner. I hope everybody's feeling well, doing well, staying safe, staying sane. Although I will admit, first, candle for each of us. I will admit I woke up this morning, I had a bit of a sniffle. Now it is still influenza time, so I have no fever, I have no unproductive cough, but I will say I feel a little under the weather. But I will admit that reading your comments and, just feeling inspired that, yes, I need to do another reading. I love this community that we have going. I love seeing the support and you guys talking to each other. It's just amazing. I am so grateful to be on your journey. I'm so grateful that you're on my journey and that we'll see ourselves together through this. So please feel free to like, subscribe, and share. And let's get on with the dirty business of having to look into Donald Trump. Just when you think he can't get any worse, he decides that he's going to quarantine New York. It's one thing for him to say, we've got to put restrictions. We want to, protect as many people. But he's literally like, oh, well, those New Yorkers, they like to fly to Florida. I'm just like, dear God in heaven above, when you think this man can't get any lower, he goes lower. So I thought, let's have a look and see what would happen if Donald Trump were to put the quarantine on New York. What will be the outcome if he does this? Nothing good, I just don't think. Okay. King of Swords. So he so desperately wants to do this. His thoughts are consumed with it. If this was a regular president, I would say look for advice as to how to deal with the difficulty. But this is Donald Trump, and I think he's got one way of thinking, and that's his own way. So yes, I do think that he desperately wants to. I think there's a lot of people that will go against it and just tell him, look, this is just, you're starting a fight that you don't need to start. But he is the authority, so he wants to. And this is also indicating that if he does this, he is going to cause an already heartbreaking situation to be that much worse. The worry part is that I do have the Lovers card, so this is making a choice and being willing to sacrifice for it, or to have a sacrifice for it. So I'm worried that Trump is really considering doing this, forsaking New York for the sake of trying to get the economy back open. God willing, there's going to be a balancing out. There's going to be enough people there to, get him to not do this, because it's not going to work out for him. But this is also representing a loss there. There's going to be a loss of resources. The end result is the Wheel of Fortune. So the good news side to the Wheel of Fortune is that, like everything in life, it happens in cycles. So although you might be entering a time of trouble, keep hope and faith and know that this too will pass. But this is also showing that if Trump decides to do this, this could really cause a negative wave against him. Let's just pull a card and see if he's going to. Will Trump put in the quarantine? Hey, Eight of Swords. He so would love to desperately do this. Like, if he had nobody weighing him down at all, he would have done it. But I think that this is going to be, Trump is going to have his hands tied as far as actually calling it a quarantine, but they're going to do everything to restrict them, to try to stop the pandemic from moving outside of New York. in his mind. Excuse me. So, yeah, I think they are going to do some fairly strong restrictions, but, and I think if Trump would be allowed to get away with it, yes, he would do it. But I think there's going to be restrictions without being called a quarantine. But I could be wrong because I got the Eight of Swords, so that could mean he'll actually do it. I could just be infusing my own faith, my own hope for the people of the U.S. that they wouldn't have to encounter it. So let's look at Florida. Seeing that Trump said, let's not have, let's put a quarantine on New York because they all fly to Florida, and God forbid they go hurt his precious Mar-a-Lago. God help us almighty. Let's see. Let's matters not about Trump. Let's look at the people of Florida. God bless them. Let's look at the people of Florida. What's coming? What's coming? Okay. It's going to start quickly. Things are going to move very quickly. Once it starts, it's going to be like boom, straight up, really quickly. There's going to be a want to move quickly on it, unlike what Trump has done with New York and all the people that are being affected thus far. When it hits Florida, he's going to be like, oh, okay, everybody, push the panic button, do something. We have the Judgment card. So this is going to be a reason that people are going to look at Trump and go, dear God, what have you done? This is going to cause judgment on him. And unfortunately, it's going to depend on how quickly this comes up, how quickly they get on top of it to see what the end result's going to be. God bless them. Six of Cups. So I would imagine there's probably a lot of Florida people, Floridians. There's a lot of people from there wishing that they had heed the advice and had made different choices. People will learn to count their blessings after they experience what they're going to experience. God bless us. Okay, so I'm going to get my other cards. Let's look at the stock market. Seeing that the U.S. just put $2 trillion into the economy, trying to ensure that the economy doesn't tank. Let's look and see what the stock market's going to do over the next little while. How's the stock market going to be, say, next 6 months or so? Stock market, how is it going to be? Now that stimulus package, and I would imagine there's going to be more coming, because even with the Canadian government, they're always tweaking and adding and taking away. Now, believe me, no matter if you're from here or US or Australia or wherever, we're all going to be paying for this at some point. Let's have a look at the stock market. Okay. There are going to be some hard truths coming. So this is almost like no matter what you do, you can't get the numbers to do as you want. It's almost like people are paranoid and the market's just going to be up, down. Come April, towards the end of April, this is going to be a harsh month. There's probably going to be a major I think the economy is going to kind of balance out. Not the economy. The stock market is kind of going to stay steady with little ups and downs, and then all of a sudden, major down. Because one, regardless of what Trump says, the pandemic is not going to be over by the time Easter Sunday happens. And this is also reflective of those who can will take advantage of this depression time or recession time, and there's going to be people who are going to lose their shirts. But there is a rebuilding that's coming. So towards the future, this would be maybe by, you're looking at like January. Yeah. Look, there's going to be rebuilding. It's not going to be fast coming. We're going to have to get over, or at least come to a place where our numbers for the virus are going down and people are starting to be able to get out safely. And there will be a rebuilding of the stock market, a rebuilding of the economy. And this is by December, January. Yeah. By December, January, you'll be looking at the stock market not taking so many dips and crazy. It's going to be kind of up and down. It's just going to be a crazy time. But come December of 2020, going into January of 21, the stock market will start to balance out. But that's going to be because there's going to be a lot of talk about building. And it's going to be slow to come. We need to kind of deal with one crisis at a time. And I think there's going to be a lot that's going to happen between now and November. And so I think this is kind of being ushered in more towards that time coming into 2021 and having better effects in 22, 23. And with rebuilding, there's going to be a lot more construction and things to deal with construction. So I think slowly but surely you'll see the market move up once we go into a rebuilding phase. So I wanted to ask just a few questions about China. 3 questions, actually. Let me just see. I want to know, 1, are China's numbers true? Or has there been a lot more people that have died in China that we just aren't aware of? So let me just start with that one. I'm going to ask. Are the Chinese numbers of people who have passed away due to the COVID, are they a true number? Are we dealing with a true number? There is a huge overpouring of emotion, and there's a lot more spread. So yeah, I get a yucky feeling that there's a lot more that's unseen that will come to the light. Because even when we looked into this before in a previous reading, I said, once this pandemic starts to slow down, China's going to have to do a lot of answering. And I really feel uncomfortable about the numbers and the spread. Because, if they're lying now, are they going to be truthful if they have another wave of it? My second question was, is the WHO's director the one who said that, first he came out, and I'm sorry, I'm not even going to try to say, wait, no, let me just look. I was going to say, I'm not going to try to say his name. I don't even think I have it here. I do have it somewhere. Anywho, I know that he had said in the beginning that, one, that it couldn't be spread human to human, and that in the very beginning, in January, he came out and said, China's doing a great job. So it really makes me question, what is his intentions? What, Is he in China's pocket? Are they paying him off? Because I don't understand. If he knew, if he's the World Health Organization and they're, pushing on the panic button now, why weren't they doing that back before? And why, even with the G20 summit, nobody looked to China to say, hey, what's going on here? There was no accountability from anybody. So I just want to look in and see is the WHO representative in the pocket of China? Yeah. He is defending against everything he knows to be untrue because he's looking at his money. This is somebody who is definitely in the pocket of China. I don't even want to ask my next question. I have to say I'm starting to feel a little overwhelmed. I'm just kind of like, it's just taken me a second to look at things because it's just, the cards are, it's really uncomfortable reading about death, dying, and seeing things that I don't want to see because I don't want to come off as though I'm trying to press the panic button. But looking at China is just, it's uncomfortable because on the one hand, I have a love for people no matter what their culture, background, or anything is. So I don't blame the Chinese people, but the government, they're bad. And I'm looking at and seeing that China and Russia are working so closely together. So I thought, let's look and see. Are China and Russia working together for just to help humanity? Or do they have an alternative motive? Is this part of a bigger plan? I just want to know what is China up to right now? Are they in cahoots with Russia? And what does that mean? Are they planning something? Let's just... Oh my. This very rarely ever happens. I got the Strength card. So, that's referring to China. And, okay, I'm just going to show you everything because I'm freaking out. I got the Strength, the Devil, the Empress, and Judgment. These are 4 major arcanas. I never get 4 major arcanas come out at the one time. Okay. Oh my God. Hold on. So first, Strength. We're looking at the 2 entities. We're looking at China and Russia, building up their strength, putting it together side by side. Then we have the Devil. So this is not a match made in heaven by no means of the imagination. And they are using the dark side to get what they want. This is the Empress. They want to get control over as much as they can. This is, in their eyes, justice. They are using this pandemic behind closed doors, and they've got a plan. They're trying to figure out how to build strength from this, how to get a bigger hold in the world. I feel as though we are all at this point of, we're fighting for our very souls. We're fighting for humanity. Like, if anything, if you try to look at the good things coming out of it, and I know we could sit here forever and talk about all the bad things, but we need to look at some of the good things. The good things being that Mother Nature is clearing up the pollution, and she is, protecting us with the ozone and healing the ozone over the Arctic, and animals are, getting to spread their wings and go back into the water, and they have free reign without humans having, interrupting them. So God willing, we will see the silver lining and learn that we need to go back and take care of each other and get back to some of the more simpler things in life. Because 2020 is going to be a really difficult year of a lot of just crazy. And April is going to be a difficult month. But I have looked down the road in my cards, and I always see that by June, by the end of May, beginning of June, we're going to see some relaxing. There might be a few hiccups here and there, but, this is going to pass. It's just that I'm really worried about Putin, Russia, China building their strength, not necessarily doing anything right now, but in the future. What our actions today predict our future. So look at the actions around us. What is your country doing for you? And what's Russia and China doing? They're collectively trying to be the helpers. Okay, guys. That's my reading for tonight. I wish you all so much health and light for your darkness. And hopefully we'll get to see each other again tomorrow when we'll figure out what we're going to read on. I'm not quite sure. I'll have to think about it. I think I need to do something a little lighter. Any suggestions? Please put it in the comments below, because I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Have a good night, guys.